For Unicorns of Love. And Sjokz, that match took Fnatic out of first place. Did the Unicorns of Love get lucky, or does that match tell us anything else?
Well, let me break it down for you, Riv. First off, to set the story a little bit, the Unicorns of Love are a middle-of-the-table team here in the European LCS. They went 1-1 in week 2, 1-1 in the week before that, and we were asking the question, do they have it in them to beat those top-tier teams? And they did in beating Fnatic. They banned out Lissandra, Zed, and Rengar, and those were components of that pick-heavy, aggressive style that Fnatic likes to play. I don't think Fnatic was thrown off that much by the pick and ban phase. It was more, to me, in the late-game team fights that they dropped the ball and that the Unicorns of Love just played them better and came out on top. I think most of it was maybe an off day for the players. There was a lot of individual mistakes in there and couldn't really get the ball rolling or close it out. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that Fnatic always goes back to those same comps because they play them so extremely well. And on the sides of the Unicorns of Love, well, they beat Fnatic in that day, and then they lost to the Copenhagen Wolves the next day. Typical EU LCS.
All right. And Sjokz, since you're here, I've got to ask you about your latest Sjokz fire. Last week's Bjergsen started things off by telling Amazing that he missed him. And he said he missed Bjergsen and that they would have to get together at Worlds. Then Sjokz fired. You said, oh, you're both going to be on the desk?
Gangsta feel, shoot to kill. Yeah.
Well, for that to happen, Amazing first has to make it into the LCS.
All right, Sjokz, thanks for joining us. And remind me not to cross you on Twitter.
I got my eye on you, Riv.
All right, I'm calling in for some backup. Freak, where you at?
Sorry, Riv, Freak is not here. Call me Earthquake today, because I'm after Sjokz. But speaking of Twitter, last week we started a death watch and asked you guys to predict when Forgiven would finally die in-game.